Aziz, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. That is my comic relief picture. Hope you're laughing. Hope you're laughing. Where do I start? I thought I was gonna start simply and just point out some things that Plato had said, but it ended up turning into a little bit more. I came across something. Actually, wait, I'm starting off wrong. Actually, I kind of want to just more get at what I feel, what I know to be God. And God to me is my consciousness. It's that voice, that subtle voice within. You know, that voice that tells you, don't do it, don't do it. And you do it, and then everything gets messed up, whatever, and you always go back and say, damn, you know, something was telling me not to do it, and I did it anyway. Now look, that voice, literally that voice that we smother, that voice that we literally choke. But those who listen to that voice, I've come to the conclusion, get led on a path. And I want to make very, 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 very clear that I am not a fan of Star Wars or any of these fantasies, Avengers. I watch this stuff for clarity of what these I know it sounds cliche, secret societies are talking about. I know that word sounds cliche, but I don't know what any other word now, because it is a secret society. It is people underneath pulling strings, doing things that we bottom feeders have no control over, essentially, other than becoming somewhat nomadic is the only real control many of us have. But this is literally what I'm trying to get at, is about civil disobedience. And I once was asked by another coworker when I was a phlebotomist, why can't I follow the rules? Why do you got to be a problem person? And what she was meaning by that is because there was a situation and I was questioning it, and this is long before it had nothing to do with anything big, just something on the job. And she just said, why can't I just follow the rules? And I was just like, because I'm thinking to myself, sometimes the rules aren't right. They aren't right sometimes, and you're supposed to question them. And if you don't question them, they take advantage of you. Essentially, the picture they painted in Nazi Germany is this is what happened there also. They took advantage of the people. And I have this voice in that this voice, it directs me. It shows me things. And what I'm going to put together now is what I mean about God within and God without, through devices, through things, through the things we see, through the things we interact with people we see, we meet, little subtle hints, things. I realize it does take a certain type of mind, almost like an investigative mind, to try to hone in on what it's trying to tell us. And I can't make that any more clear. I know it sounds almost childish, but I'm not here to use big words and make anybody's heart flutter. That's not what this is about. It's just about as real as I can tell you how God talks. But because so many don't believe it anymore, and so many don't listen to that voice within anymore, and we have that another voice. We have several voices actually within us. Some demonic, some angelic, some more demonic than angelic. It's a weird balance, but it's all there. And I don't know, some of us just get caught on the more severe side. Some get caught, and it's both. It's some people are too good, and what happens, they get taken advantage of, and some people are just bad, and people don't like them. Those are the characters that we pull, that we live from within, that we make without, and you know, give it to our fellow beings, in certain acts and crap like that. And what I found just was incredible, according to civil disobedience, because I kept feeling like, what am I going to do with this? I know there's something wrong, and I'm not crazy. I worked with blood for 4 years. I would love to show you a picture, but I'm not going to show my picture. I had a picture of me and Mayor Bloomberg. He was giving blood, and I was the one. I was the nurse, the phlebotomist who was taking his blood. And I'm not going to show my picture, but I'm not going to show the whole picture. But you know what? Never mind. Forget that. I'm not even going to show that. It's not important. Point is, I'm just aware of that voice inside, and it's telling me a whole lot of stuff, and I can't really expound it on anyone other than do it like this. Me and Ramel have been having really good discussions on stereo, and this is what I mean about no man is an island. If he was a woman, in a sense, that would even bring out a more realistic talk if it was a woman in his place. Meaning that that's really supposed to be the true discussion. You're supposed to have a man and a woman talking about this if they have an open mind and if they're not too overly emotional. So here it is, me and Ramel, we're not getting in trouble with our emotions. We're talking to each other, and we're listening to the people's comments, and we're not fighting. We're allowing each other to talk. And because of that, he helped me with a lot of problems, and he saw things that he didn't see before. And we both helped each other, literally, psychology-wise. It was incredible. After it was like 3 hours we were talking on there, and we were listening to the people's comments. And mind you, their comments also direct your attention, the way you would talk about certain things, because they ask a question, and now you got to answer, kind of almost like answer that question, or feed off of, or go from what they leave their comments on. You go from there with whatever they left, or answer their question. Either way, it's well, it's not, I don't want to say genius, but it's the way we're supposed to be talking. But now we're talking individually, across town, across the world, from people all around the world, from people here, or maybe just here, just listening. And it's a good thing, actually. It's good. There's no pictures, there's just words. And it's a good thing. It's good for the psychology. It really is. Again, it should be a man and a woman, but you know what? If you got to sit there with a man who's not competing with you, who's not overly emotional, who's not overly egotistical, who's not a stereotypical man who I just you get what I'm saying, a stereotypical person in general. Anyway, we talked about a lot of things, and we figured out a lot of stuff. And again, I wasn't going to show all this, but I'm probably going to have to make this 2 parts because it's going to be long. It starts with, it has a lot to do with civil disobedience, but I watched the Mandalorian this past Friday. And mind you, if you don't know this Mandalorian story, it's interesting. It's just another Star Wars story. And again, now that I know the truth about what Star Wars came from, and if you haven't heard it before, learn it now. Star Wars is King Solomon, literally. Jedediah was King Solomon's name. I'm going to say it in every video if I have to. So this Star Wars story is actually revealing things we can do. We can literally do, but we take it for fantasy. We take it for entertainment, and we take it for a joke. We took it for granted, and we've just been tricked. That's all I could tell you. But I take it seriously. And I don't watch it for entertainment value, and I'm not thinking about what the next episode's gonna have, or if I could dress up like that, or if I could live in that world. I'm not a fantasist like that. I'm a very realistic person. I don't try to escape my reality. And lies, I did do my best never to lie to a friend. Strangers, okay, sorry, but I do my best never to lie to anyone as much as possible. But sometimes you gotta lie. I'm sorry. In my world, you gotta lie sometimes, and I'm talking about, you know, dealing with the government and you know, child support. Yeah, trust me. If I gotta tell some lies to get out of that, I'm gonna tell it, because they're doing nothing but telling me lies. They've lied to us, from the IRS to oh man, I can't get into that. Anyway, sorry. But what happened on Friday was amazing, because on Friday morning, I had a dream about The Mandalorian, Star Wars The Mandalorian. Now, don't get me wrong, in the first season, The Mandalorian took off his helmet and he showed his face. And, you know, they're not supposed to show the face of the idea, the philosophy in the movie. But he showed his face in the first episode. That was the beginning of last year, or whenever the last series took place. So he took off his helmet already, so you got to see what he looked like, blah, 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 right? So here we are almost a year later, and now it's Friday. This just past Friday. I think it was the 9th or 8th or something like that. And that Friday morning, I had a dream about the Mandalorian taking his helmet off. And I remember that morning, and what's funny about my dreams is that I rarely dream, but when I do dream and I remember it, I know it has some kind of significance. I know it does. And it's always proven to me every time. And this time I caught it. Again, I could be a liar. I could be lying about this. I could be making this up. But you choose. So I had a dream of the Mandalorian. In my dream, he took his helmet off. And I remember waking up that morning, not even really realizing it was Friday, because I'm not thinking about the show coming on that Friday night. My thoughts are not there at all. I don't even think about it until I finally come home and sit down and take off my clothes and roll me up a spliff and start smoking. And then I get into my whatevers and I say, oh yeah, that's right. I mean, sometimes this new Mandalorian series show comes on Friday. Sometimes I don't get to it till Sunday night, because I forgot that it even came out. Because every Friday they have a new series. So I don't look forward to it. I'm not, you know, it's not like nicotine smoking. You know what I mean? You know, people are, you know, you may not be strung out on nicotine or drugs or marijuana, whatever, but you're strung out on watching TV. You're strung out on buying clothes. All these things, we all have strings. We all have strung out problems is what I'm trying to say here. Not putting anyone down, just saying we have string out problems. Anyway, so this dream, I had a dream that he took off his helmet. And so that night, this is in the morning, obviously, my morning dream. That night, when I got home, I sat down. I remember, I did remember it earlier. I thought, yeah, all right, yeah, it's Friday. The new series comes out today. And I happened to remember it today because my mind was just there that day on Friday. And when I sat down to watch it, The Mandalorian, the new series, series 15, it actually blew my mind, because the numbers that came on the screen, because you see here, check this out. This is The Mandalorian season 2, episode 7, chapter 15. Now, for me, those are significant numbers. Significant. Why? Because 15 is the 15th was the day that I was born. The 27 or 72 is the year of my birth, 72. But even the letters SE are two parts of my name, two letters of my name almost in order, and even the two being almost like a T almost spells out my name if you know my name, and it's incredible. So you gotta man, it's incredible how that happened. But even numbers down here, 5-1 or the no, not that one. I cut it off. But the point is, these numbers, I looked at this and said, whoa, that's spooky, because here it is. It looks like it could be my name. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm not trying to, this is the truth. I can't make this up. You're looking at a screenshot of the chapter, episode 7, chapter 15 of The Mandalorian. And so, all right, no big deal. I'm watching the movie and I'm thinking, all right, I had a dream that I saw the Mandalorian without a helmet. And I thought to myself, nah, there's no way in hell I'll be watching this episode 7, which is a really, really powerful number for me. There was just no way. It was too perfect. It's one of those coincidences that is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. And trust me, I'm not strung out on watching episodes or running home to watch that series of this or that. And people all the time are telling me, "Hey, you should watch Black Box. You should watch this and that." I don't watch any of this. I'm not a TV watcher like that. I really am not. I'll sit down and watch a movie for a while, but I can't stand commercials. I don't like syndicated TV. And if I watch YouTube, I'm gonna watch stuff like what I'm about to show you guys. But lo and behold, the Mandalorian took his helmet off in episode 7, the 15th chapter. I'm looking at this and I can't tell you that, hey, it's either the devil talking or it's God talking. And I'll be honest with you, I'd like to, I don't believe I'm not an innocent man. I'm going to get judged the same way if there's a God to judge us, and it's more than likely I'll go to hell also. But at least I'm trying to do my best to make up for what I've done wrong. And that's the best I could tell you. Because I have dreams all the time that come true, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You'd swear I'm an up and down liar. But I've proven it before. I've proven it amongst people that I've had dreams that come true, and more dramatic than this one. It may not be dramatic to you, but it's dramatic to me because I'm going through my own transition. And yeah. And these frauds on the screen make it even worse, is what these frauds have done. And so it woke up a spirit, is the way I'm seeing it. Because these are worse than frauds that you're looking at. But that Mandalorian story is not, I can't understand. We really must be in some kind of a matrix of some kind. We really must be in some kind of a program that is having glitches, and maybe this is why I don't know. I know we're physical, I know we're organic, so it would seem, but what is organic to the spirit? What is organic to the soul? How can the soul live without the body? It's been proven to me it can. I can't prove it to you, and I'm not gonna try to prove it. And beware of those who say they can. That's all I can tell you. I'm not telling you. You just have to have your own experiences that show you. And you're either going to run or you're going to sit there and look at it and understand it. And I'm not a runner. I don't run. I can't. It's just not within me to do that. Sorry. I thought there was a whole lot of hardcores in New York City, and I'm finding there ain't. Everyone's so passive and believing, and it's bothersome. Like, yo, I thought we were supposed to be like this is where gangsta music comes from. What the F, bro? What's going on here? I don't know, but we're just way too passive. We're way too passive, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get my ass up and do something. I don't know if I'm gonna go wave a flag in front of City Hall. I don't know if I have to do that or not. I don't want to, but I keep thinking that that's what's gonna happen. Like, I can't keep sitting down and not saying anything. And I'm gonna show you why I can't keep sitting down and not saying anything. So part 2's coming up, and I'm sorry if it was long-winded, but part 2's a little bit better, I hope, considering this. But I had to share that having a dream that comes true is not a coincidence. You must listen to it. You should really try to break down what it means. And me and Ramel kind of broke down what it meant. And I came up to one conclusion that he had helped me on. And it was about cutting off my hair. And I'm going to do it. It's my New Year's thing. Get rid of it. Start all over. 2020 was I don't know what happened this year. It was quick, if anyone hasn't realized it. The sun did not reach its full peak. It did not come all the way. We had a comet that went between the Earth, which now that looks like a 2020 slash. If you think about it, 2020 vision, they have the slash going through. Maybe that's really a comet going through the 2020, and they knew that was coming during the 2020 year. And that comet may be the reason why the sun did not reach its full northern peak. In case anyone hasn't noticed, it's getting dark really, really extra early. And it makes me wonder if we're going to have a really long, dark 25th. If you don't realize that, that's the day the sun is the lowest in the sky. That's why they burn the tree. The tree is actually on fire. It's a satanic symbol, worship, Plato. I mean, I don't know. I ain't going to get into that. But it's the day that the sun is the lowest in the sky. It's a pagan worship. And that day you burn trees to keep the sky lit because you're afraid of the dark. It's deep. Because maybe Satan's claws may get you. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway. Yeah. There are no coincidences. There are no coincidences. And I'm going to show you because I've had an interesting day. It started me with just thinking I'm going to show a video about what Plato said. It got to me what Plato said. Actually, I'm going to read it for you because I'm not a good interpreter, so I'm going to read it word for word. I'm even going to show you what I'm reading. And I found some snippets of things that came up yesterday that I couldn't believe it was showing me. It was almost as if it was giving me a message. But here, I'll read it for you. Because when I read a few things of Plato, but I'd never come across this. And I'm not that extensive of it, but I'm starting to understand the reason why I have this Plato book thing, Plato and Socrates. I've had it since like 2004. 2004 when I left for Egypt, I gave away everything I had, and I gave away a lot of things to certain people, and some of those people gave it back to me when I came back almost 10 years later. And just even recently, I got my comic books back and my cards back from 2004, and all that stuff's worth. Oh, anyway, let me not get into that. Anyway, I kept one thing, Plato and Socrates, and it's funny because here, let me see. Wait a minute. It's funny because it's the Raphael Stanza della Signatura. It was paintings by by Raphael, and he did this painting of Socrates and Plato. They didn't meet. It was just drawn as they were like 100 years apart or something like that. One was anyway. I was shown when I was in Ethiopia the significance of this drawing, if I haven't shown it to you before. In the book Vine, it says Ethiopia. This is where the knowledge really comes from. This is what they're smothering. This is what they don't want you to know. When I saw that, I thought, that's the reason why I still have this. This is one of these coincidental things that I still have. And again, You know this drawing. Everybody knows this drawing. It's important to remember this because this is where their knowledge comes from. It's telling you E-T-I. See that? See that? And there's an A at the end if it looks blurry. Hold on. Does it look blurry? It says Ethiopia. It's perfect. I can't believe it. You know, you forget about these things. Anyway, check this out. Plato, one of the guys you were just looking at up there. Check this out. It says, the 30 sent for me. If you don't, the 30 are the government, and ordered me to bring Leon the Salaminian to be put to death. I, however, showed again my action, not in word only, that I did not care a whit of death, but that I did care with all my might not to do anything unjust or unholy. For that government, with all its power, did not frighten me into doing anything unjust. I simply went home. See that? When I read that, that got to me. I was like, wow, Plato, he went through this. You see that? That's civil disobedience. He went against the government. He went against the people who told him. He was a cop in a sense. He was an official, and he was one of the higher ups, and he was told to do something, and he was like, no, I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be cool. And he didn't do it. He literally says, I went home. I left it alone. And he says that I'm not frightened. They didn't frighten me. They're not supposed to frighten you. There's more of us than there is of them. They're not supposed to frighten us, but they do. I had to show that because it blew my mind. I was like, wow, Plato went through this. That means you got to realize they've been doing this a really, 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 really long time. And they're really good at it. They're really good at it. I kind of feel it starts with just misinformation about history, misinformation about how the body works, misinformation about what you're supposed to be eating, misinformation about what you're supposed to be knowing. Not now. I'll be in a second. Hold on. Hold on. You know what? Let me get to part 2. Hold on.